Rockets are tricky, but with each successful launch, rocket launches become more routine, in large part thanks to the incredible engineers at SpaceX. It's easy to forget just how tricky and dangerous rockets actually are. Modern rockets are incredible achievements of science and engineering, but in essence all rockets boil down to is just being controlled explosions. And if the controls fail, the rocket fails. To have the energy required to lift thousands of kilograms into orbit, rockets need to harness extremely reactive compounds. Most rockets today use what's known as liquid fuel, which combines a liquid fuel source, which can be either hydrogen or hydrocarbon based, with liquid oxygen. Once ignited, the combustion of the fuel and oxidizer can produce enormous amounts of energy. Since the oxidizer and fuel are highly reactive, they need to be carefully stored in separate tanks within the rocket and pumped to the ignition site to be burned. While rockets are engineered close to perfection, sometimes mistakes happen. If there's a leak in the fuel line or a tank bursts, then all the fuel's energy, which was supposed to take the rocket into space, tears the rocket into pieces in spectacular explosions. Even if the rocket makes it off the launch pad, if it isn't aerodynamic or structurally sound, then the rocket will also be torn to pieces. Although the atmosphere doesn't feel hard to us, when traveling at thousands of kilometers per hour, atmospheric forces and pressures can be enormous. A great example of how quickly the atmosphere can tear apart a rocket is from the SpaceX Dragon capsule abort test. In this test, SpaceX purposefully abandoned the Falcon 9 rocket to test the Dragon crew capsule's eject system. Almost as soon as the Dragon capsule breaks away from the Falcon 9, it gets torn to pieces by the force of punching through the atmosphere. It's like diving into a pool versus belly flopping in. One is much more painful than the other. With all the ways rockets can go wrong, it's important to remember that the scientists and engineers who develop them are incredibly skilled. They can turn something dangerous and difficult into something we take as routine. So the next time you see a rocket launch, take a moment to think about the thousands of people who worked to make it happen, and bring us one step closer to exploring the cosmos.